In a quiet corner of the city park, an old man sat alone. Every single day, and every single day, he would empty a small, worn bag of breadcrumbs for the pigeons that flocked to him. To most, he was just part of the scenery. But one morning, the pigeons didn't eat. They simply gathered around his feet, cooing softly, as if they knew, as if they sensed the profound silence that had settled in his heart. That morning, his hands, usually steady, trembled as he tried to open the bag, and he whispered to the birds, "She's not coming back, my friends." This was Arthur. For 20 years, this bench, this ritual had been his anchor. One particularly crisp autumn day, a new park attendant, a young man named Leo tasked with beautifying the space, saw Arthur. He saw the gathering of birds, the scattered crumbs, and a problem to be solved. He approached, clipboard in hand. "Sir," Leo said, his voice polite but firm, "I'm going to have to ask you to stop feeding the pigeons. It's against the new park regulations. It attracts pests." Arthur looked up, his pale blue eyes clouded with confusion. "But they're expecting me," he said softly, his voice barely a whisper against the rustle of leaves. "It's just a few crumbs." The next day, Arthur came to the bench out of habit, his pockets empty. He simply sat, his hands folded in his lap, watching the space where his friends used to gather. The park felt empty. Leo watched from a distance, satisfied that the issue was resolved. But then something happened. A little boy, no more than 5, approached Arthur. He'd been watching the whole exchange the day before from behind his mother's legs. In his small hand, he clutched a piece of his own sandwich. He looked at Arthur's sad face, then at the hopeful pigeons gathering at a distance. Without a word, the boy walked up to Arthur and held out the bread. "For them," the little boy said softly. Arthur's eyes welled with tears. He took the bread, his old hand gently enveloping the small, offering one. "Thank you, young man." As the boy retreated to his mother, Arthur crumbled the bread and scattered it. The pigeons descended in a joyful, familiar whirl. Leo saw it all, and something in the scene, the stark contrast between the old man's profound sadness and the pure, rule-breaking kindness of the child, pierced through his clipboard of regulations. He felt a chill that had nothing to do with the weather. The following Monday, Arthur didn't come to the park. His bench sat empty. The pigeons lingered, confused. Leo noticed. A strange worry gnawed at him. He asked the vendor again, who gave a worried shrug. On an impulse, a feeling that felt entirely new to him, Leo walked to the small apartment building the vendor had mentioned. He knocked on Arthur's door. There was a long silence, then a faint shuffling. Arthur opened the door, looking frail and surprised. I'm not feeding them," he said quickly, assuming the worst. He helped Arthur back to the park that very day. And the next morning, at Arthur's bench, a small, tasteful sign appeared. It read, "Pigeon Feeding Area, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. daily." Leo had petitioned his manager, shown him a photo of Arthur and the boy, and told him the story. Below the sign was a small, weatherproof box, and inside, a fresh supply of birdseed. Arthur arrived to find his world restored, even brighter than before. The regulars now smiled with understanding. The little boy sometimes joined him, sharing his snack. Leo would often bring a coffee and sit with him, listening to stories of Eleanor. The park hadn't been beautified by fewer birds. It was beautified by more compassion. Sometimes the most profound changes begin not with enforcing rules, but with understanding a single, quiet heart. And a little kindness can build a bench for someone's soul to rest on.